This week, the 1991 was a great year. Movie Point Break returns to the big screen, or at least the remake does. Our movie man, Jason Jabba Davis, braved all dangers to sit down with the cast and bring us the edge of your seat report.
It's the ultimate rush. There's nothing that comes close to it. Not even sex.
We are the ex-presidents.
It's total commitment. It's a real thin line between life and death.
24 years ago, the movie Point Break barreled into cinemas, riding a huge wave of cultural success.
It's not tragic to die doing what you love. If you want the ultimate, you gotta be willing to pay the ultimate price.
Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves made Point Break into a classic. So when a re-entry was announced this year, the same question was on everyone's mind.
Point Break. The first thing that comes up when you talk to people about this film is they can't remake this film. What are they doing? What was your thoughts going into this?
Those were my thoughts, that you can't remake Point Break, and you shouldn't, and we didn't. We reimagined it. And that was a very important difference because we all loved the first film, did not want to remake that verbatim. It's not the same film. I think anyone who loved the first film is certainly going to love this, and it's 25 years later, and it's on a world stage. There's extreme sports in it that haven't even been invented at the time the original was made.
In the first Point Break, Agent Johnny Utah was on the hunt for criminals, with a difference.
The ex-presidents are surfers.
You're trying to tell me the FBI is going to pay me to learn to surf?
Similarly, in the reboot, the lawbreakers have a higher motive than money.
3 crimes, 3 continents. I think they're connected. They're attempting something called the Ozaki 8, a series of 8 ordeals that honor the forces of nature.
Welcome, brother.
They call me Bodie.
Sydney boy Luke Bracey plays the FBI agent in charge of tracking down extreme sports disciple Bodie. And even though the leads have swapped hair colour, the thrill remains the same.
Johnny Utah.
You're right?
Yeah.
You believe it, man? That's me, man.
I think taxpayers would like it, Utah, if they knew that they were paying a federal agent to surf and pick up girls.
Babes.
Big one.
The correct term is babes, sir.
It's an incredible role for you. At what point was there a conversation with the producers and the director about, okay, so we're going to reimagine Point Break, and this time it's not just surfing, but we're also going to introduce these other elements where you could very well die?
Yeah. Knowing Hollywood, we might just film it in a studio somewhere, and then you meet the producers and the director, and they go, no, we're going to all these places, and are you scared of heights? No, I don't think so. Good, because you're going to be standing on the edge of a cliff. You're going to be hanging off Angel Falls, a kilometre above the earth. We're going to get the world's best in all these sports to do the stunts for us, to perform these. We're going to film it in a way that's never been filmed before. And if you're talking about Point Break, it's all about pushing the envelope and taking it to the next level. And this movie does it. I mean, there's no movie like this. You know, no one's ever seen extreme sports get filmed like this.
There's a few $1 billion up there.
You're going to steal it?
No. We're gonna give it back.
You've been undercover too long. What just went down was a crime.
People see what they want to see.
They think they're crusaders with a worthy cause.
What side are you on?
There's no doubt the new stunts are jaw-dropping and terrifying.
How much of the extreme sports were you involved in on camera?
Very little, because this was very dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, even for those guys. I mean, those guys really put their lives on the line for the film, because they performed stunts they had never performed before. So they really pushed their own limits as athletes for the film.
We were able to pull off photographing some enormous events, largest waves in a decade at Jaws, biggest wave of the year at Chopu, something that broke new ground both in wingsuiting and in filmmaking, with 5 wingsuiters flying in close proximity through the crack in Wallenstadt, Switzerland. That was only possible because we had the most elite athletes in the world.
The wingsuit flying sequence especially, it's someone who took 5 to 10 years. And actually, these guys, the average one had around 20 years of experience in jumping, over 17,000 skydives each. was the average. Some of them have over 25,000 skydives. And these people spent a year training and prepping for this specific stunt, and then showed up on location 2 weeks early to prep even further.
Dude, I saw it a couple of weeks ago for the first time. I know what happens, man, and I'm sitting there going, oh, like I kind of know what we did, and I'm sitting there like freaking out.
Stop!
We're all gonna die. The only question is how.